Ну что, сегодня большой день для американцев. 12 минут осталось приблизительно, чуть больше, до старта Crew Dragon от SpaceX и NASA. Будем надеяться, что все у них получится. Прошлый старт не состоялся. За 15 минут его отменили из-за плохой погоды. В этот раз, как мы видим, небо голубое, ничего не должно поменять. Если что-то произойдет, то это будет по вине техники, если сработает автоматика. Вот мы видим, что астронавты уже готовы, чешутся руки, как мы видим. Кстати, интересно, у них в скафандре много в последнее время про них говорили. Они серьезно отличаются от наших костюмов. All the way up to about the very top of North Carolina, and then we'll have 2A through 2E or 2 Echo, and that will be on the second stage, and that goes from North Carolina all the way up to about the tip of Newfoundland, so in the northern Atlantic, and then there is a zone of the northern Atlantic that we're going to avoid, and so you should hear the call out be something similar to forward to Shannon, and that just refers to Shannon, Ireland, which they'll be going off the coast of Ireland at the later stages of the second stage if they have to abort. So just prepping you now for some of those calls. You're hopefully going to hear that word nominal a whole lot on the way uphill. 10.5 minutes. Things are pretty quiet. As John I said, it'll pick up. And right at about 10 minutes, we'll wait for the crew just to confirm that their displays are in order. The crew is already strapped in and reported that they are go for launch. We'll continue to watch the fuel gauges tick up on the Falcon 9 vehicle until fueling cuts off at just about 2 minutes prior to launch.
Dragon, SpaceX confirmed displays are configured for launch.
Нужно сказать, что помимо успешного запуска еще должна быть успешная стыковка.
SpaceX Dragon displays are configured for launch.
Такой момент, которому уделяют большое внимание.
Bob, Doug, on behalf of the entire SpaceX team, it's been a huge honor to help you get ready for today's historic mission. Know that we're with you. Have an amazing flight and enjoy those views of our beautiful planet.
Какую-то торжественную речь, по-моему, загнули, да?
Thanks, Jay. It is absolutely our honor to be part of this huge effort to get
ну да, это речь типа Нелла Армстронга, что маленький шаг человека, большой шаг человечества. Ну, здесь то же самое, что типа
Copy all. Thanks for those words.
Это большая честь для меня, что я являюсь частью всего этого
SpaceX core. So again, that voice that's going to be talking to Bob and Doug throughout their mission from right here in Hawthorne, just offering a few quick words. The crew confirmed the crew displays are configured for launch. We're coming up on 9 minutes and counting.
Этого пуска, потому что многие говорят, что
we've gotten through T-minus 10 minutes with the crew discussions. Activity is now going to switch over to Falcon 9. Our next major event comes at T-minus 7 minutes. We begin what we call engine chill. Pre-valves will open. Those currently separate propellants on the first stage from getting down to the Merlin engines. We'll open the pre-valves. That'll allow fuel liquid oxygen to flow to the top of the pumps. And more importantly, when we open the valves, that'll allow us to begin chilling the 9 Merlin 1D turbo pumps on the first stage engine. It'll take a few minutes to get them cold enough to where they would then be ready to pass the large amounts of liquid oxygen through the pumps and into the main thrust chambers when we get to engine ignition at T-minus 2 seconds. We don't want to try to run highly chilled liquid oxygen through a warm pump. You would flash that into gas, and running gas through a high-speed pump is not a good thing. So right now, we are waiting for T-minus 7 minutes. That'll start the engine chill. Shortly after that, we will also get the fuel shutdown.
Спрашивают, говорит, вот, что вы чувствуете в момент старта? Говорит, ну, говорит, смотрю на эту приборную панель, которая надо мной, и думаю, эту панель делал тот организация, кто согласился на самую низкую цену. Такой черный юмор. Ну что-то есть в этом, да?
Волнение-то нарастает у парней.
Stage 1 and Stage 2 engine chill has started.
We've heard the call out. Stage 1 engine chill has started. That's gone up to the crew so that they've got situational awareness. As I mentioned, the pre-valves are open. And now we are topping off first stage fuel, getting ready to finish the fuel load. Liquid oxygen load on first and second stage will continue until the last 3 to 2 minutes of the countdown.
Говорят, что идет охлаждение первой и второй ступени.
We should hear that call out RP1 load complete coming up in about 6 minutes. Again, RP1 is just that densified kerosene or that rocket fuel that Falcon 9 is going to be used to power Bob and Doug to orbit today.
Minutes.
And Stage 1 fuel is closed out.
Right on time. That call out indicates that the fuel loading on the first stage is complete. Draining back the lines now, so first stage and second stage fuel are complete. Liquid oxygen loading is continuing on both stages. You can see on the view on the left side of the monitor the condensation, the cold gas wrapped around the stages as the tank skins are chilled by the densified liquid oxygen, picking up the humidity from the Florida air.
It looks like at this moment we're a little more than 90% full on the oxidizer on the first stage, ticking up towards that 80% mark on the second stage. We'll be counting down all the way till about 2 or 3 minutes, as John and I just said, until everything is loaded in Falcon 9.
Heaters closing out.
And then we will go for launch.
Dragon has transitioned to configure for terminal count.
Vehicle tanks pressing for strongback retract.
We're pressurizing the Falcon 9 tanks. We're going to open the clamp arm around the second stage and begin to retract the strongback. We'll move back about 2 degrees. That'll get us to the liftoff position. At liftoff, the strongback will then recline about 45 degrees away.
Started.
Stage 2, RP1 bleed.
Представляю, как ребята там волнуются сейчас.
Launch director called out the strongback retract has started. On the left, you'll see it go back just a couple of degrees.
Stage 1, RP1 bleed.
Что-то у дальнего парнишки ручки
just 4 minutes away from liftoff. Again, at this moment, Bob and Doug are really just laser focused on those displays. They have insight directly into Dragon and the Falcon 9. They're able to see where their fuel loading is at, how everything's progressing down with the count.
AFTS final setup started.
Three and a half minutes from launch.
And the strongback is now reclining away from the Falcon 9.
MVAC igniter purges.
Много камер понаставили.
I'll bleed.
С разных ракурсов можно
Dragon
посмотреть.
has transitioned to terminal count and is on internal power.
Stage 1, LOX load closed out.
Okay, we're at T-minus 2 minutes, 42 seconds. Stage 1 LOX load is closed out. Stage 2 will continue to load for about another half a minute or so. Once we get the completion of Stage 2 LOX loading, we have to vent down the line, so you'll see another large white cloud coming off of the strongback. That'll be normal. That'll happen around
transitioning to
T-minus 1 minute and 40 seconds. We're going on internal power now.
Just a few seconds away from the Stage 2 LOX load being complete. It's been almost 9 years since we've been in this position. A lot of work done by thousands of people to get to this point. All our eyes focused on 2 now.
Сейчас что это за вода заливает? Ночь не дождь?
Stage 2 lock float is closed out. Propellant fills are complete.
Dragon is in auto idle.
Stage 2 LOX load complete. All fuel, all oxidizer on Falcon 9. 1 minute 34 seconds to go till launch.
Еще раз повторяю, что
Ground gas closeouts is starting.
полностью заправлены все баки. Минут 30 остается. Все удивительно, конечно. Такая большая страна. Побывали уже на Луне.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
И так искренне радуются тому, что
FTS is armed for launch.
впервые там за 10 лет сделали ракету, которая может полететь и доставить астронавтов на МКС, на орбиту.
Dragon, SpaceX, go for launch.
SpaceX Dragon, we're go
Ребята
for
показывают,
launch.
что
Looks
все у
like
них
this
в порядке.
handle.
T-minus 30 seconds.
Финальный отсчет 30 секунд. Можно себе представить, какая сложная техника
T-minus 15 seconds.
собрана вместе.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
Ну, пожелаем им удачи.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff of the Falcon 9 and Crew Dragon. Go NASA, go SpaceX, Godspeed, Bob and Doug.
America has launched. And so rises a new era of American spaceflight, and with it the ambitions of a new generation continuing the dream. 20 seconds into flight, stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
T plus 30 seconds into this historic mission. Flying crew on board Dragon and Falcon 9, and look at them go.
40 секунд позади.
Falcon power telemetry nominal. M1D throttle down.
We're throttling down to get ready for the period of maximum dynamic pressure. We're in the throttle bucket.
Что теперь ракета летит со скоростью.
Reports say all systems are go.
Vehicle is supersonic.
We've exceeded Mach 1 on the Falcon 9.
M1D throttle up.
We're throttling back up to full power as we're through max Q.
Жалко не показывают ребята, которые находятся внутри корабля.
And we heard that 1 Bravo call out. That's just the second abort zone that they're in. They'll continue to be on this until the first stage has done its job and they switch over to the second. At this point, Bob and Doug pulling about 2.3 Gs, 2.3 times the Earth's gravity, already moving at over 1,500 miles per hour.
We've heard the call out for MVAC engine chill. That's getting the MVAC engine ready to light. That'll come at about 2:44 into flight. Right now, everything continuing to look good. Next major event coming up is going to be the triple. We'll have main engine cutoff of the 9 first stage engines, stage separation, and then ignition of the second stage engine to continue to carry astronauts into orbit.
Вот камера включается.
Coming up in about 20 seconds.
M1D throttle down.
Самой ракете.
We heard we're throttling down the Merlin engines on the first stage.
Высота уже 67 километров. В секунду ракета пролетает 2 километра примерно.
Pico.
2 Alpha.
Falcon stage separation confirmed.
Copy 2 Alpha.
MVAC ignition.
right, we have stage separation confirmed. The first stage beginning its flight back. The second stage being powered by that single Merlin 1D vacuum engine has ignited and is now carrying Bob and Doug into orbit. So they're going to continue under the power of this second stage.
Stage 2 propulsion is nominal.
Which will cut off at SECO, or second engine cut off at about 8 minutes and 44 seconds into today's flight. So a little over 5 minutes to go still on this second stage. You heard the call out to Alpha, so they're now in the longest abort zone that carries them all the way from about North Carolina up the eastern seaboard almost to Canada. Things looking good though, getting good call outs, nominal propulsion on that second stage. Bob and Doug continuing to make their way into orbit.
Dragon SpaceX, nominal trajectory.
Acquisition of signal in Bermuda.
SpaceX Dragon, nominal
По ребятам
trajectory.
видно, что перегрузки особо нет. Скорость прирастает не так быстро.
Nominal trajectory, so Dragon pointed in the right direction, continuing to make their flight uphill. Heard acquisition of signal Bermuda. That's one of the other ground stations that they're using to get telemetry and data back from this spacecraft.
Stage 2 propulsion is still nominal.
Через 4,5 минуты.
A little over 4 minutes, 40 seconds into the flight. Bob and Doug flying at more than 5,600 miles
Dragon
per hour.
SpaceX, nominal trajectory.
Already almost 200 miles downrange from the Kennedy Space Center. Nominal trajectory continuing. While they continue uphill, looks like we are getting a view of the first stage as well.
Думаешь, когда же закончится эра?
On your right screen, you can see that first stage with the grid fins deployed. It's making its way back to attempt to land on our drone ship. Of course, I still love you today. And we're just about a couple minutes away from the entry burn, and that's where 3 of the 9 Merlin engines do ignite to help slow the vehicle down as it re-enters back into the Earth's atmosphere. And then after the entry burn will be the landing burn, which is just a single engine.
SpaceX nominal trajectory.
And you heard
there's
that call out. They are still on a nominal trajectory on Dragon. Still on second stage, and that's that MVAC engine on second stage on your left screen. Again, on your right screen is that first stage booster coming back towards our drone ship. Of course, I still love you. We're about a minute away from entry burn.
Meanwhile, that second stage continuing to power Dragon into orbit. Again, if you're keeping an eye on that timer, that's going to continue to burn until 8 minutes and 44 seconds into flight. So a little over 2 minutes from now, we'll hear the call out SECO. It'll then be a little
Stage 2 propulsion is still good.
A little over 3 minutes until Dragon physically separates from the second stage of the Falcon 9 after the upper
Dragon
stage gets a
SpaceX
chance.
nominal trajectory.
Dragon copies, nominal trajectory.
Continuing to check in with Bob and Doug as they are on a nominal trajectory. Just about 10 seconds away from that first stage. Starting that entry burn on your right screen, we should be able to see that view live.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
Ну, вот работала вторая ступень.
And there is that entry burn beginning.
По идее, она должна отделиться.
This burn lasts about 36 seconds long.
Stage 2 FTS is saved.
И высота 200.
That entry burn continues. We're just about a minute away from SECO. We'll have a number of events all happen in rapid succession. It'll be the second engine cutoff.
Stage 1
we'll be looking for that stage 1 landing burn shortly after.
Yeah, actually, just within a few seconds of each other. Such a cool view on your left screen, seeing Bob and Doug on Dragon. Right now you can see the displays that they are seeing right now themselves.
Terminal guidance.
And back throttle step.
We are coming up 25 seconds or so away from SECO, or second engine cutoff.
This is also the point where Bob and Doug are experiencing their highest G-force. We're seeing the counter tick up to right about 4.8.
Copy, Shannon.
You heard Shannon, so that just means they're in their final abort zones. If they were to abort at this point, it would either be an abort to orbit or to land off the coast of Ireland, standing by for second cutoff confirmation.
And back throttle step.
С чем это связано?
And back shutdown.
Ребята в масках сидят, соблюдают карантин, молодцы.
Confirmation of SECO's second engine cutoff.
Now we are waiting for our first stage to make its way to our drone ship. Of course, I still love you.
Dragon, SpaceX, nominal
Ну
orbital
вот,
insertion.
закончила, получается,
Launch
работу вторая
confirmation
ступень,
to
и
nominal
скорость перестала
orbital
расти.
insertion.
Nominal
Стала
orbital
падать
insertion.
What
незначительно.
you're seeing on your screen is a live view of our drone ship, where our first stage will be coming down.
Потеря
Looks like we
сигнала.
lost that live view, but
Ребята вернулись.
we'll wait for confirmation of that landing shortly here.
Falcon 9 first stage successfully landed.
And
aboard
there you
Force
can see
Excellence.
on your screen, Falcon 9 has landed. This is the first Falcon 9 to carry humans to orbit, so very exciting for us. And as you can see on your right screen, Bob and Doug are still making their way to their targeted orbit.
M1D to recovery 1.
So exciting today.
M1D.
It doesn't stop.
It does not stop.
All right, we did hear again that call out, good orbital insertion, so that means Falcon 9 and Dragon right now exactly where they're supposed to be.
M1D to FRC on recovery 1.
And it's right at about 12 minutes when Dragon will separate.
Что это?
Looks like we saw a 0G indicator floating around there. I know Bob and Doug owe us a little bit about what exactly that is that they brought up with them.
And before separation, before Dragon initiates separation from the second stage, they do make sure to make, they do ensure that the vehicle is not spinning and it is in good condition before we separate.
That's right, the upper stage does small attitude maneuver using cold gas thrusters built into the rocket body itself.
Exactly. So we do expect that separation to occur in about a minute from now, but they do wait until they have full confirmation that it is ready to separate. Such cool views. I cannot get over this view that we are seeing right now. Bob and Doug on the right screen inside of Crew Dragon out in space.
Yeah, already 200 kilometers over planet Earth, or a little over 124 miles, traveling in excess of 2,700 meters, 27,000 meters per second, or about 16,000 miles per hour.
Вот теперь Женя Антощенков знает, что ракета пролетела. Это хорошо.
Again, we're just standing by that separation that should be coming up shortly, and they'll begin a series of checks on the Draco thrusters that are going to be used to maneuver and then power Dragon on its flight to the International Space Station. Standing by for separation.
Expected loss of signal, walls.
It sounds like we had an expected LOS loss of signal with one of the ground stations. Waiting for confirmation now of that.
Dragon separation confirmed.
Dragon separation confirmed.
There is a great view right in front of you of Dragon separating.
Separation confirmed.
And there's that call out. Dragon is now officially making its way to the International Space Station today.
Dragon SpaceX, with that separation call, we have a few words for you from our Falcon 9 team.
Standing by.